Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's James L. Seegers, your commissioner, coming to you at 7:22 on Tuesday, October 15th, 2024. We are halfway there, folks. We are more than halfway through the regular season here, and we have, a lot of stuff left to shake out. It was a great week for football, great week for Lions fans, save for, the Aiden Hutchinson thing. That is even terrifying to even think about, much less relive in our head. But Cowboys, that was a tough one. Anyway, we're here. We're going to go through a little bit deeper dive on a couple things. We're going to look at the conference look a little bit more because we were halfway through the season. Also going to look and see who's been started the most during the season so far. But of course, we're going to start off with our usual bottom 10 look, okay? And we're going to do this in reverse order. You can see some of these numbers here. People who are just kind of middle of the pack / lower than middle of the pack. But we're going to start off with the number 91 team in the nation is Ben Miller's Sag Nasty's notch above top notch. They've lost 3 in a row. They've amassed a total of 461 points, and they have a staggering record of 1-5. The mad scientist, old J.R. Hughley, is not doing so hot here. He's got 503 points, though. He's got 375 points. Never mind. I was like, how does he have 503 points and be 1-5? Hernandez, Hitman Antoine Bacon, finally submitted a lineup, which is plus because he hasn't submitted one many times, or at least twice. He's on the chopping block, which the Provost will get very excited about. Mullen Incorporated, 4 in a row, lost. He started off 1-1. Now he's 1-5. Paul Ward not doing so hot. Elevator Music, similar shittiness. 1-5, 0-4 in conference, and 425 points. Fly Eagles Fly. This is a surprising one to me. Mick DeBow started off 1-1. Now he is 1-5, amassing only 419 points through 6 weeks, ladies and gentlemen. Hurts so good. Oh my goodness. He's about as good as Jalen Hurts actually is. They barely beat the Browns, and that punk bitch Nick Sirianni was yelling at the fans because they were booing them, even though they're winning. It's like, why were they booing you? You're winning. Because you're playing the Browns! My son said one of the best lines ever, which said, Deshaun Watson is a better person than he is a quarterback. Ouch! That is about as harsh as you can possibly get. He got that from some ghetto Gronk or something like that, but oh my God, what a statement, because... We'll just leave it at that. Number 98, Honolulu Blue Skies, 1-5, 5-game skid, 377 points through the year. Number 99, the Double G spot. Can't get in the single W spot, that's for sure. It helps when you submit a lineup. He was randomized again. Spoiler alert, he is on the chopping block. Provost, get your tools ready because there might be another surgery as we cut up another owner from the league, potentially. There's a couple of them now on the chopping block, which means that, ladies and gentlemen, we do... Whoa, shit. I just realized you can't see this. There we go. Double G spot. Sorry, my bad. I was thinking you could see what I could see, but you can't because the stupid thing cuts off halfway through. So the Double G spot. The number 100 team in the nation is... Brady's Balls. He's 0-6. 0-4 in conference, obviously. Oh my God. He's got, that was not supposed to happen. He's 0-6, 6-game skid, obviously, 331 points through 3 weeks. I know teams that have, or through 6 weeks. I know teams that have scored more than 331 in a 3-week span, I'm pretty sure. Almost positive, in fact. So, those are your bottom 10. Which means we're going to go up and we're going to look at some risers and fallers. Who's the biggest faller? Who's the biggest faller? Number 19, Freddie versus Jason, fell all the way to number 33 with a loss this week. A lot of them here. 17, 18, 15, chop it off. Speaking of Provost, fell from 15 to 28. Balls, deep donkey. But look at this. 12, 13, 15, 18, 17, all lost this week. Holy smokes. Play with my Titka. Moving up, almost in the top 20. All right, number 20 is True Blue Wrecking Crew. 4-2 on a 2-game win streak, 466 points. Duh Crush, the Kissels are back. 4-2, 2-game winning streak, 3-1 in conference. Providence Power, what is happening right now? What is happening right now? They are actually looking like they are actually in the top 20, which is crazy. But, it is what it is. Oh, yes, they are indeed bad to the bone. Haven't been in the top 20 much. That's my team, in case you didn't know. Not in the top 20 very often, so I'm liking it. Barry McCockner, Larry Weinberg up to the top 20 here. Number 17 in the nation. You feeling lucky, punk? Brian David. Maybe someday he will win an actual championship, and I can be correct in my assessment. But nevertheless, he's on a 4-game win streak, 4-0 in conference. That is pretty amazing, if you ask me. Yeah, 430 points, not a lot of points, honestly. If you look at these other teams that are 4-2 or 3-1 in conference, but he's 4-0 in conference, and that's what separates things. So
that would be an amazing thing if that happened.
Yes, he is. He is 4-0. It's an amazing thing if he could continue this up. I'm not sure why Trump is chiming in there. Neighbors saw my Penix. Oh my God! Why does that thing keep going off? Stupid. I have headphones in so I can actually control the audio volume a little better, and I can't really hear how loud I'm talking. I sound like Ron Burgundy. Neighbors saw my Penix up from unranked to number 15 on a 4-game win streak. Manny Flores. Rumor has it he spent half of Sunday night planning his next week's lineup because his precious Dallas Cowboys were getting railed. Something fierce by the Lions. They tried so hard. They were punking him so bad. They tried so hard to get not 1 but 2 offensive lineman touchdowns. That's pretty embarrassing. Cannot believe Mike McCarthy wasn't fired. Number 5, swine flu. Finally loses. Where's DeMar Hamlin's booster shot? He might need it for a pick-me-up because Mike Kaminsky had a hell of a run. Won his first 5 games as an owner here in this league, and now he's still number 14, still 5-1, still 3-1 in conference. Don't ever ask why the 2000s there. Tallywhackers, they won. They're up now from number 20 to number 13. Love Story, Jordan's version. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? They finally lost. Which is great to me because, I really don't like Jordan Love and anything associated with his name. I am not a huge fan of. Baby Back Gibbs wins. They're now 5-1 up to number 11. The Citadel, a.k.a. Citadel, much like Patriots and whatever the other dumb name is. I don't know why there's not a "the" in front of it. I don't know what this means, but this is formerly Hakuna Matata Manata Danata. They now are Citadel, I guess, whatever the fuck that means. So I guess so long to Hakuna Matata. Louis Diane, I'm curious to know what Citadel means. I wouldn't mind sitting Adele on my face, but that's all I can think of. Before or after her transformation. Not that kind of transformation, Provost. Don't get excited, okay? She just lost some weight. She was an attractive gal when she was heavier. She's an attractive gal when she's thinner. Either way, I'll take it. Speaking of taking it, Suck It. Took it to somebody this last week. I don't remember who it was. It was a good game. I think it might have actually been the aforementioned Citadel. I'm pretty sure. Suck It up from number 14 to number 9. 3-game win streak. Bracy Trudell looking good. His cousin called him Morgan Freeman at the Lions party, and he is about as wise as Morgan Freeman. That's for sure, because he's on a 3-game win streak. Malcolm Rodriguez in the middle of my thighs with a 5-game win streak. Up from number 11 to number 8. 393 points. Not a lot of points, but that probably means she has people left in the chamber. Golf and Balls, number 7, up from number 8. 5-1, 450 points. FarmersOnly.com. Like I said, I've said it a couple times. Matt Farmer is the only, as of right now, the only former champion who's doing a damn thing with this 2024 season. Up from number 6 to number 9. The Apache Chiefs. The Apache Chiefs. Look out, ladies and gentlemen. They are up from number 10 to number 5. A 5-game win streak. The Braves gonna get it done. The Redskins got renamed. The Guardians got renamed. But the Apache Chiefs are still moving forward with the name, no matter how borderline, quote-unquote, offensive it is. He represents his people. He represents the tribe, and he also represents a 5-game win streak up from number 10 all the way up to number 5. Creeping up there. The Apache Chiefs, I'll tell you what, I'm going to tell you right now. If anyone wants to know who to study in terms of who just seemingly is always in this conversation year after year after year, I got 3 names for you, okay? I got Cale Seagraves, a.k.a. the Apache Chiefs. I've got Bonnie Monahan, a.k.a. Love Story. This fucking woman just never loses, although she lost this week. And I got fucking Louis Diana. These people, a.k.a. Citadel, formerly Puku Nuku Matata, formerly whatever the fuck his name is. These three people are just always winning, it seems. It's crazy. Number 4, the Nam Knights, also, historically, have been great. Although, he did have that 1 year last year where he was like 0-9 at one point with one of his teams. But you have 2 teams back in the day. Nowadays, this league's expanded so much you only have 1 team. Nevertheless, Nam Knights, 4-game win streak. Even through personal problems, he persevered and has become the number 4 team in the nation. Number 3, all too well, Stephanie Bradley, 6-0. We have 3 6-0 teams left. She's the weakest of the 3, but nevertheless, not a bad place to be. Number 2 is Will's Wranglers. Will's Wranglers, they won, yet still fell, primarily based on the fact that they don't have enough points. But that, of course, means that we have a new number 1 team in the nation. And that new number 1 team is... Who is that? What is that? Do you know that? That means you're down with BVC. Yeah, you know me. Brad Van Camp, number 1 team in the nation, 6-game winning streak, 499 points, 4-0 in division. He's up from number 3 to number 1. Good job, BVC. Yeah, you know me. Or he knows how to win anyways. I don't think he even does know me, but whatever. It's fine. You're down with BVC. He's down, or he's actually up to number 1. Oh my God, stop playing. So he's up to number 1. Congratulations, Brad Van Camp. First time in history he's been number 1. Will's Wranglers, in a winning effort, falls to number 2, however. So, there's that. All right, we're at 12 minutes already. We haven't even started this freaking thing. So, here we go. We're going to do it right now. We're going to do our... Oh, my God, this is going to be a long podcast. But, hey, you know, a lot going on here. We're going to go fantasy recaps. Here we go. Eventually, my slow-ass computer will be replaced. In fairness, my wife is trying to look for a new one for me. Here we go. We're going through it right now. Let's see how loud this is in my headphones here. Come on, play, you shitbag. All right. Okay. We're going to restart this here, and hopefully it works. There we go. It's the MUSL Game of the Week. Citadel over Patriots. 2 teams that could use the in front of their name, I believe. Unless he is trying to Citadel on someone's face. But it's not spelled right. Jordan Love, I really hate this man, but he put up 19.81 points to help Citadel beat Patriots in the MUSL Game of the Week, moving Citadel up to number 10. He obviously did not play that person I thought he played. Malcolm Rodriguez over the Dragliners, who were randomized. Jared Goff put up 18.55 points. Vic in a box falls to Joe Buck yourself. Tom Farmer, Jordan Craig, geez Louise, over Josh Griner. Cole Komet had a great game. Congratulations, you. Moose Knuckles, Keith Dowdy, 4-2 over the Mad Scientist, who falls to 1-5. Jordan Love helped him out. We got Will's Wranglers beating up on Sag Nasty's not so top notch. The worthless Benjamin Miller this year. He's 1-5. Don't know what to say about that really, but there it is. Will's Wranglers wins and still loses the number 1 spot. OJ Eldorado, he's now 4-2 over Honolulu Blue Skies. Paul Brown falls to 1-5. Jalen Hurts actually has something to smile about, but he shouldn't because they barely beat the Browns. Drake London, this man is high as a kite in this picture, but Brady Trudell, hey, who knows? Maybe there's probably one out there somewhere. A lot of Trudells in this town. Hey, my legs are both shaking. I'm hyped up on coffee. You're going to love it. He puts in Drake London, scores 12.7 points. He wins 73 over Rocky Keeling, former number 1 team in the nation, 62.47 points. He is now 2-4. Rocky, you better get Mick back in the game, buddy, because your ass is getting beat. Get up, you son of a bitch, because Mickey loves ya. Who we don't love is Jordan Love, though. DeWyans, Gary King, the lovable Gary King, 3-3 over Chad Liege, who was once ranked, now falls to 4-2. That's a critical win for Gary King, keeping him alive in the conference hunt. Play with Mike Ditka. Up He's 4-2. He was the number 100 team in the nation. He's a former second place champ, whatever you want to call it, second place winner, not a champ. Over Hurt So Good. He's 1-5. Parker Dalton can lose, I assure you, and he's lost 5 times this year, off to a shitty 1-5 start. Play with Mike Ditka on the other hand. Look out, he's creeping up. Right foot creeping. Play with Mike Ditka, rolling up on you. Brian David up to 4-2 over Muckovitz. Scott Muckovitz, the Muckers, falls to 2-4. Scary Terry not looking so scary in that photo. This is like the Million Man March scrolling down here, seeing Terry McLaurin everywhere. FarmersOnly.com obliterates hanging with Mr. Hernandez, who might just be hanging with Mr. Hernandez after this performance. 36.98 points. Chris Melclory. I don't even know what to say on that one. That is a triple the score, damn near. Congratulations, Matt Farmer. Now you see me, now you don't. Look out, Ryan Frazier, another person who's usually up in the conversation. Not quite with the other 3 I mentioned earlier, but he puts up 73.71 over Sewer Bombs, 49.05. Everybody liked Jordan Love this week. We got Death by 1,000 Punts. She was on the brink of having her team eliminated from her. Bijan Robinson looks like something out of the Predator in this picture here. Young Bubba's Players falls to 3-3. Death by 1,000 Punts, 3-3. Good game for you. Look out, ladies and gentlemen. Alove your face. Alove your face. I say it wrong every time. 94.56. He's had a 2-game win streak after being humiliated with his weirdness in his name. Changes it. Loses, but now on a 2-game win streak over Freddy versus Jason, everyone's favorite computer language joke. Nobody cares. But 57.7, almost doubled him up. Jordan Love again. Then we have David Montgomery wearing his Bears jersey still for some reason. Come on, My Fantasy League. Let's get these updated. Football is life. That is Tom Farmer over Alex Erickson, whose struggles continue. He's now 3-3. Football is life. Tom Farmer moves to 3-3 as well. Your Mother Likes My Defense. Stinky Fingers defeats him. Stinky Fingers' second win of the year. Your Mother Likes My Defense struggles continue 1-5. Alan Harvey, a long list of former champions who are not doing so hot. Oh, by the way, I should say that Louis Diana is a former champion and a 2-time, I believe, second placer, and he's having a hell of a year. So it's not just Matt Farmer. I just realized this. Jordan Tripp. I changed his name for tripping on faux foes. He did not change it, but he did trip on his own foe, losing it all too well in a critical game, because now Stephanie Bradley is 6-0. Tripping on faux foes needed that one. Lost by less or a little bit more than 2 points, thanks to Bijan Robinson. The Providence Power took Kakambas to the woodshed. Jacksonville Jaguars, the worst passing defense in the league. I'm not sold on Caleb Williams, but I threw up a prayer that he would be good against the worst passing defense in the league, and luckily I was correct, because not only him, but also Cole Kmet put up big points. Derrick Henry. I knew Kakambas has 2 of the 3 highest scores of all time. I had to go hard. I did, and thankfully I won. Unfortunately for Kakambas, he started Dak Prescott, who scored negative 0.39 points. Glad he's the most expensive quarterback of all time. Tallywhackers over Lakers. Not much to see here. Lakers put up a usual Laker-esque performance, 2-4. Josh Crampton moves to 5-1. The double G spot was randomized and it showed. 45.28 sticks it in ya. Stuck it to him all right. 80.3 behind Stephon Diggs in his purple jersey. Nibble on my Gibbs, cough on my golf. John Zemer gets back in the win column over Chop It Off, Stunning and Brave. Another #1 team that's falling. He's down to 4-2 now. Pat Provost. Jake Bates doesn't have a photo. Give me 2 for the road. Parker Dalton can't win, but David Dalton can as he beats Better Bring Your A Game, who was up there quite a bit. Now he's 3-3. Rob Jazerski. Give me 2 for the road, moves to 2-4. Vincent Villada, 4-2 over Paul Mall Incorporated, who falls to 1-5. As we mentioned earlier, he was there. Paul Ward not having a great year. BVC over Cheechki in a critical game. Helped BVC move up to the #1 seed. 101 points behind Scary Terry, Deontay Johnson, Tony Pollard, Demo, and Joe Burrow. Jake Bates, Houston, Texas. This is very rare here, folks. All of his players, except for Jake Ferguson, because he plays with the Cowboys, scored over 10 points. They were all in double digits, except for Jake the Fake Ferguson, because they were not a real football team on Sunday. What an embarrassment. Prime time! Brian Benor over Just Here So I Don't Get Fined. 2-4 for Paul Wallenwine. Prime time, don't get fined. Paul Wallenwine. All this rhymes, but what doesn't rhyme with sin is win. Actually, it does, but you didn't. Paul Wallenwine falls to 2-4. Drake London is high still. Jared Goff, speaking of high, he's high on everyone's list of most improved players. Shocking. He was traded to the Lions to die, and now they're arguably the best team in the league. Definitely playing like it anyways, with or without Hutchinson. The Hernandez Hitman. Did they get a win? They got a win over Balls Deep. John Gillette, you are the weakest link.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
That's right. You can't. I mean, you're having a good team, 4-2, but you can't lose to Hernandez Hitman. First win of the year. Congratulations, Antoine Bacon. The Strong Seat Soldiers. They were randomized, got lucky with Caleb Williams and David Montgomery. They will not be in the randomizer pool after this week. Goes to 3-3, coming from behind. Greg Munger also falls to 3-3. That's a tough one. Fly Eagles Fly, we mentioned, lost to Barry McCockner. Larry Weinberg, 91.91. Sounds like a radio station. Fly Eagles Fly, they have no transmitter. They can't get anything off the ground, in the air, anything. Mick DeBow, 1-5. That's that. Low-hanging fruit, Eric Hester. He took it offensive when I said he was the worst team in the league, because statistically was. He is not low-hanging anymore. Puts up 101 in Bleeding Blue Bombers. Pat Provost Sr. puts up 92 points and a losing effort. Just a heartbreaker for Pat Provost Sr. 3-3. And then low-hanging fruit moves to 2-4. Congratulations. The Hitman was randomized and won. Ladies and gentlemen, the Hitman beat Love Story. Bo Nix. His first start of the year, because he got randomized. He's the only person to have started him. Wow. Love Story loses to a randomizer. A tragic thing for her. What's even worse is that she started my least favorite player in the league, Jalen Hurts, and he could not win it because he can only score 14 points against the hapless Browns. But the Hitman gets his first win of the year his second win of the year with a randomizer over Love Story. My ball, Zach Ertz. 92 points over $75 million man who falls to 3-3. My ball, Zach Ertz, 4-2. This is the tight conference, folks. Tight. DeMar Hamlin's boosted shot loses to the Clockwork Elves, who moves to 3-3. DeMar Hamlin falls to 3-3. Another tight one there. Golfing with Laporta. Robert Ames falls to 2-4 as the True Blue Wrecking Crew, Roger Brewer, and the Dick Tracy villain / if they're casting him as Sloth in the Goonies remake, Chris Godwin. Hey, you guys! I put up 23 points. That is a horrible photo of this man, but nevertheless, a great performance, horrible photo. 23.75 points for Godwin. And then Bijan Robinson here again. CJ Gardner-Johnson. Josh Harris moves to 3-3. Dewey Swiftbro falls to 2-4. 2 girlies, 1 cup. Beats Dollar Bills, y'all, by the score of 92.52 to 90.01.
Get the money, dollar bill, yo.
That's right, dollar bills, y'all. Puts up 90.01 points and loses by less than 2.5 points. Actually, slightly more than 2.5 points. I don't care, I'm doing math fast. The Apache Chiefs, you're in trouble. They were coming back. They're like, hey, bitches, I'm the defending champion. Don't tell me out. But the Apache Chiefs, tomahawk chopped them. Not sexual reassignment surgery. Tomahawk chopped them, and they win 108 to 85. 85 is a pretty good score to still lose. Brady's Balls, you are the weakest link for real. 0-6. Digger Phelps finally submits a lineup, and once you know it, they are winning again. They now move to 1-5. Winning again is an overstatement. Winning, I should have said. Don't look now, but I believe the Cloacal Kiss is on a 2-game win streak. 88.48. This is a former champion. She can creep up on you. Double C's, they were once number 3 in the nation, 6 in the nation, whatever. They've now lost 4 straight. It's tragedy. Golf and Balls over Donkey Punches, who were randomized. Not a lot to say here, but Golf and Balls moves a 5-1. Chris Russell, congratulations. You're number 7 in the nation now. The Nuts over the Cot Jockeys. Michael Carl's tough schedule continues. He's in a tough conference, people. That's all there is to it. Jamie Phelps wins for only the 2nd time this year. It's kind of surprising. Michael Carl falls for the 4th time. They're even at 2-4. Neighbor Selma Penix, we already talked about him. He's up to number 15 over Aiken for a ship. 77.4 to 69.79. Garrett Wilson came big last night and secured the victory for him. Congratulations to Manny Flores. Your Cowboys still suck. Super Original over Nasty Nutria by 1.6 points. Paul Smith over Sarah Krasinski, led by George Kittle. Tucker Kraft, everyone's trying to get on that bandwagon, and it cost Krasinski big time as Kittle at the tight end position outscored Tucker Kraft in this game 17.4 to 1.75. That's a terrible performance, even for a tight end. George Kittle has a lot to smile about. Doesn't have long hair. Squadrels over Password is Taco, 88.11. Dom Valenti, former champ, still sucks this year. He's now 1-5. Squadrels moves to 3-3 and creeping up. Elevator Music, Bobby Wood couldn't get it done again. Nantab Knights moves to 5-1. Elevator Music falls to 1-5. Mama G out of retirement loses to the Black Hole. Perhaps a season-saving game for the Black Hole. Going to 3-3, knocking Mama G out of retirement down to 4-2. That doesn't sound like a lot, but when we look at the conference, you will see what I mean. Swine Flu loses to the Crush in a massive game of what are now ranked teams. Chris Kissel puts up 112 over Swine Flu, 88.75, a respectable performance. His first loss as a MUSL owner. Congratulations to Mike Kaminsky, went 5-0, put up 88.575 points, and loses to the Crush. Chris Kissel back in the top 20. Garrity's Gigolos falls to Dustin Sampson. Steel City Sackers 80.76, 60.76. That's another sloth photo. Demo, Canton Hall of Famers, ladies and gentlemen, the Canton Hall of Famers. They have won again for only the second time this year. Former champ, co-founder of the league, Richard Perez, back in the winning department. Rob Gort falls to 3-3 with a shitty 38.7 point performance that was not randomized, believe it or not. Then we have the Suicide Squad. J-Mac, Justin McClinchy puts up 100 over Whispering Eyes. Jason Taylor puts up 81 points and loses. Finally, Hitting Rugs versus Baby Back Gibbs. Baby Back Gibbs puts up 100. Hitting Rugs. Mason Bradley falls to 4-2, puts up 95.81, but loses to Baby Back Gibbs. And again, why was that? DJ Moore would be the answer. The Broncos would be the answer. They put up 3 points only. Whereas Chris Godwin, Joe Mixon put up massive numbers. And that, folks, is your weekly recap. So, that's that. Now we're going to look at mid-season starts. We're at 27 minutes already, which is not the end of the world. Mid-season starts. This shows you who, at the end of the year, we have the all-muscle team, right? That shows you what position scored the most points. Not necessarily who started the most. This shows you where we're at halfway through the year. Quarterbacks. The number one scoring quarterback so far is Josh Allen. He's been started by 41 teams out of the 100. He's put up 747 points, 18.228 average, okay? So, oh, God. Okay, so that's that. So that's that. Joe Burrow and Jaden Daniels, the highest, and Kyler Murray. All three of these guys have been started by 50 teams, half the league. We're halfway through, and half the league is started. Jaden Daniels, Joe Burrow, and Kyler Murray. So,
another one.
Yep, another one is right. We're going to go to the other one. We're going to go to the running backs. 81 teams have started Jordan Mason with cause, too, because, Christian McCaffrey's going to come back. You might as well start him while you can. But he still has not put up nearly as many points as Derrick Henry. He's only been started by 54 people, which is the second highest in the league. You get down here like Devon Achane, I can't even say this guy's name. He's been started by 31 people. He's only put up 167 points. What a loser. What a loser.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
That's right. Don't start that bum. I need that lag. That lag's killing me. So that's how that works. Wide receivers, most started are... The most started wide receiver is Stephon Diggs. 58 teams started him. He is not the highest scoring one, though. That would be Jamar Chase, started by one less team, but he's put up much higher points. And then Marvin Harrison Jr. started by 55 players. Nico Collins by 50, and those are the only ones with 50. George Pickens started by 27 and will put up 137 points. That is really, really bad. Really bad. Really bad. So, let's go to the tight ends. Nobody really cares about these guys, but we're going to look at them anyway. Brock Bowers, 57 people started him. 361. Trey McBride, George Kittle. I mean, well, George Kittle has not been started by a lot of people, but he scored a lot of points because he's good. And then let's go to kickers. Look at that real quick. Brandon Aubrey's been started by 60% of the league. 813 points. Number 2 is 50 is Jake Moody from the 49ers. Chris Boswell, 49. Tyler Bass, whatever the hell his name is. I'm all about that bass. 42 people started him. Then we're looking at the defenses. And the Chicago Bears are the Las Vegas Raiders way down here. 52 teams have started them. Only 114 points, though. Yikes. Probably shouldn't start them. They're a bunch of scrubs. They're averaging 2.192 points a game. You get up here to the top. The New York Jets, 47 people started them. They scored 10-point average. 46 people started the Bears. 38 the Chargers. 35 the Broncos. 34 Steelers. 34 Texans. And 39 Bengals. One team has started the Giants. Probably randomized, I'm guessing, because nobody has any business starting them. So there's that. We're going to go to the Week 7 preview here. Oh, shit, we didn't look at the conference look. Let's look at the conference looks real quick. Shit, I skipped it. So we're looking at the conference look. Jeff Lebowski conference. We have Will's Wranglers, Malcolm Rodriguez in the middle of my thighs. 2 ranked teams, 6-0, 5-1. They may or may not be playing each other this week. Concussion Protocol, Moose Knuckles still alive. Joe Buck yourself, Dragonlance 3-3. These other guys are in trouble. That's all there is to it. Then we get down here, FarmersOnly.com, Suck It, You Theo, Lucky Punk, Play With My Dick Again, Show Me Them TDs, all very much alive right here. Only one game separates 5 teams. Deweyans still in the hunt. Muckers and Below, gonna be a tough sell, honestly. Citadel, number 10, and the Ron Burgundy Conference winning that. Now You See Me, Now You Don't, Freddy vs. Jason Sewer Bombs, very much alive. Death by 1,000 Punch, Young Bubba's Players, Football is Life, Ketchup and Moster, and Patriots, though. Patriots are in tough shape because they just lost. They have 1-3 conference. They're not great. But this is still a tight conference. Don't be fooled by the fact that Citadel is 5-1 because there's a lot that can happen there. The Spicoli Conference, all too well, 6-0. Tallywhackers, 5-1. Providence Power, 4-2. I mean, this is a 3-person race. Providence Power lost to Tallywhackers, I know. All too well. I'm not sure if they've played them. Is that who they beat? All Too Well have already beaten the Tallywhackers, so All Too Well is on cruise control now. Like they haven't played me yet, I guess, but I mean they've beaten Tallywhackers. They essentially have a 2-game lead over the Tallywhackers. We're only halfway there. A lot could happen, but I mean they're sitting pretty, better than most. Although BVC's sitting better than most too because he's 6-0, and then there's a 2-game gap between him and Chop It Off and Valada. Has he played either of those people? That's the question. He plays Chop It Off this week. He has played Valada already. So, if he wins this week, folks, BVC is going to be sitting really pretty because they'll have the tiebreaker over the next 2 closest teams. And again, we have half the year to go, but I mean, we're starting to take shape of some stuff here. Love Story, Barry McCockner, Balls Deep. And then these 3 still kind of alive, obviously. Bleeding Blue Bomber, Strong Street Soldier coming from behind. Wins would have helped this week for both of these other 2 teams coming from behind Bleeding Blue Bombers. But, yeah, the Hitman and Below looking rough. Rod Kimball Conference, this is the one that's the black and blue division, folks. This is the NFC North of the MUSL here. Anyone's game. Anyone's game. Because even the bottom teams are only 2 games out, you know. This is way too close to call. We go down here to the Napoleon Dynamite Conference. The Apache Chiefs 5-1. Golf and Balls 5-1. That's critical. Have they played each other yet? We'll see. I don't think they probably have. Oh my God, they play each other this week. This is going to be a week, folks. There are several huge games this week. Huge. Yes, I think this might be the biggest week in MUSL. Well, definitely the biggest week in MUSL so far. Maybe the biggest MUSL week in a long time.
What?
I think it's going to be the biggest week in MUSL of the last several years because we have several games that are critical to the playoffs for sure. So, I mean, that's the thing.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me?
I'm talking playoffs.
Playoffs?
Yes, I'm talking about the playoffs, you clown, because this is what it happens. These games early or in the middle of the year, you got these teams that are playing at the top. Not only do you get the win, but you also get the tiebreaker. So it is very important, Jim Mora. Shut your mouth. And the Tommy Callahan Conference, we have the Nanham Knights, the Neighbor Summit Penix, and Mama G out of retirement, all within a game of each other. The Black Hole, Super Original Squadron, still in the hunt. Aching for Ship, Undown, not looking so good. And then the Lloyd Christmas Conference, you can't even see all the people at the bottom. Baby Back Gibbs and Swine Flu coming up there. I think didn't they just play? They did not. Hitting Rugs played. Oh, Baby Back Gibbs and Swine Flu playing week 11. You can't see it for some reason. So there's that. There's that. Now we're going to go to the week 7 preview, and we're going to see where we're at. This is tough. We might have multiple games of the week, folks. We've already seen it. Week 7. Here we go. We're starting right off with it. The first game in the Week 7 preview is arguably the biggest game of the year. It's number 8, Malcolm Rodriguez in the middle of my thighs, taking on number 2, Wheels Wranglers. And what is a critical game for both teams. Malcolm needs it to tie them up. And to have the tiebreaker, Wheels Wranglers beats them, and they have a game, 2 games up on them, and the tiebreaker. That is big. Number 16, Utheel and Lucky Punk playing 99% luck, 1% heart. Rocky Keeling 2-4. Suck It goes up against Hurt So Good. Parker Dalton can't buy a victory. So look out. Brace Udell could easily cruise a 6-1. Parker Dalton, you got to start submitting better lineups, bro. Just saying. You're not going to make it anywhere if you don't. FarmersOnly.com, 5-1, taking on DeWyans, 3-3. Gary King, always a threat. Citadel, Louis Diana taking on Death by 1,000 Punts, who is 3-3 and submitted a lineup for once, which is good. Kakambas taking on All Too Well. All Too Well, Kakambas, they're nobody. Submit nobody. Kakambas, they have never, ever scored a lot of points. So if you're just going to sit there and you're going to think, oh, I better start a super lineup, you don't need to. Kakambas, definitely never a threat. So please just start a bunch of scrubs All Too Well. You can afford to do that, I promise you. Stinky Fingers, the lovable Golden Kroger, taking on myself here, number 18, Providence Power. I don't win often, so you also don't have to start much. The Double G Spot. Hopefully he can figure out the site. He's only been an owner for a year and a half. Can't figure shit out. Taking on Tallywhackers, number 13. It's not good for us because I personally need Tallywhackers to lose, so Double G Spot better get his shit together. Chop It Off. It'll make you stunning and brave. Twilight Zone Reality, folks, taking on number 1 BVC. Chop It Off was number 1 for a couple weeks in a row, and now he's lost 2 in a row. Can he stake claim to what was once his and beat Brad Van Camp out of the number 1 spot? Maybe. Barry McCockner taking on Coming From Behind, number 17. That is a 4-2 versus 3-3 game. That's a big deal. Love Story, Jordan's version, taking on Strong Street Soldiers, Eric Minchun, who's on the cusp of having his team stripped from him. I'm going to have, excuse me, I'm going to have a coughing fit. I have owners, 2 of them, on the hook, who will be submitting lineups. If either of these teams do not submit lineups on time, they will be taken over. Period. It's happened every week. This happens, just so you know. Okay? Because if someone's randomized by 3, if the 3rd time, that if there's a team in the chamber, their lineup will be put in. Period. That's how it's always worked. I mean, so Strong Street Soldiers, this is it for you, buddy. You still have my car seat? I need it back. No, I don't, actually. Cassandra bought another one. So, Craig Monahan, 3-3, taking on True Blue Wrecking Crew, 4-2, the number 20 team in the nation. Yep. And then there's another one right here. Where it is? That's the Game of the Week 2.0. The Apache Chiefs taking on Golf and Balls. I just lost my hand. Golf and Balls and the Apache Chiefs, number 5 versus number 7. A huge game. Golf and Balls 5-1. Apache Chiefs 5-1. They're going at it 5 versus 7. What a day. What a game. This one here's an interesting one. Cloacal Kiss versus Digger Phelps, the battle of underachievers. One person barely submits a lineup. One person is on a 2-game win streak and former champion. Who will emerge victorious? That's going to be Kenny Albert's going to have that game, actually. And then we have Neighbor Saw My Penix taking on Squadrels. That's a big one. Square Deal Neal taking on Manny Flores. Mama G out of retirement, 4-2, taking on Namtab Knights, 5-1. Big game. Big game. Melissa Garrity trying to knock down Namtam Knights, take over that first spot, or maybe second spot, I don't know. The Crush, Chris Kissel taking on Whispering Eyes, Jason Taylor. Not a great year. Swine Flu, Mike Kaminsky taking on former champ and co-founder Richard Perez. There it is, Canton Hall of Famers. Baby Bat Gibbs, Stephen Gurgley. He won again. So he was 4-0, then he lost 4-1, now he's 5-1, taking on Dustin Hanson, who's never we could count out, 3-3, and then Hitting Rugs taking on the Suicide Squad, 3-3 and 4-2 actually. Mason Bradley, good job. So then we're gonna go to the Super Squares, and this week we had multiple winners. Kyle Keeter wins for the second week in a row, actually. He splits it though because the Commanders and Seahawks both had like 52 yards rushing, I believe, or it might have been the Giants. I don't know. One of the two. I looked it up. I promise it's legit. And then also the Raiders had like 58 yards or something like that. Whatever it was, they tied. I think it was 52 yards. I didn't put it on here, but I promise you. So Kyle Keeter and Golden Kroger both winning $20. You know, whatever. It's not a full price, but he gets something. Next week's category B, wide receiver with the most receiving yards. We still don't really have any buys. I don't think this week. We have buys. Who's? Well, I don't have the buys. Oh, I do up here. What is it? Week 7? No, week 8. There's no buys. So hey, cool. Week 7 there are buys. Shit. Let's see who's got a buy. Who has good receivers? Chicago and Dallas. Oh God. Yeah, I don't have to worry about them winning that category anyway. And then finally, NFL Pick'em. The pools. Let's look to the very top. We got Whispering Eyes in first place, Providence Power in the Nuts, and Swine Flu in second place. Suck It in third place. Ghetto Heisman in fourth place. Stinky Fingers 49. Just Your Stroke Fine 46. The Suicide Squad 13. They scored this week. Good job. I only scored 11. So yeah, keep submitting them in, guys. I mean, I'm telling you, people will probably stop. People are going to miss a week or two. It's going to happen. So there's that. Lions versus Vikings this Sunday at the Mega XP Zone. If anyone wants to come, the entire league's always invited. We had quite the crowd for that Cowboys game. Great food, great people. It's one of the best experiences, one of the best, one of the absolute best you can get, I promise you. It's going to be good, people. All right, well, that will do it for this edition of the Commissioner's Corner. And until then, we'll see you next time. Have an excellent week, folks.